lot
certain
of
kind of
rock.
kid, you know,
Yeah.
that was like we were, and we knew a lot of them.
Yes.
So we were like, well,
We
let's
were
make a
basic-
band for people like us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody else, you know how people are. I mean, the way these things take over, like with the boring music and everybody looking the same and all that kind of stuff, is that most people don't have time to like decide what it is that they like personally, because they're too busy thinking about talking on the telephone or something. So, and then there's a certain kind of people who are more kind of like artistically bent, you know, and they have very strong opinions about what it is they like. But, you know, a majority of people will just kind of go along with whatever they're kind of told to go along with, you know. So we wanted to make a band for the kids that had opinions, you know, and, about history. What do you call it? Current events.
Yeah.
Well, when we came out, we wanted to kind of like economize stuff. You know what I mean? Because when we were kids, there was like a lot of like noodling and stuff going on. You know, like jamming. Kind of
Progressive
stuff.
rock.
No, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I mean, I think there's a place for that. But it had kind of permeated
Yeah.
all the bands that we would go see, and so. And we liked the bands, you know. It was just like we didn't want to hear like a drum solos and a bass solo and stuff like that, you know. I mean, not one that's more than 5 seconds anyway, you know. So remember the band would leave the stage and the drums would go, doo, 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 right? And then it'd be like, okay, it's gonna be 20 minutes, right? Isn't that the feeling you get? So we wanted to have like a little more, Little Richard in it, you know what I mean? So that's what we set out to do, and
We were frustrated from all those big stadium bands and whatever operas. Rock.
The rock
became-
operas and
Yeah, it
the-
became an opera instead of like, you know, a sexy little 3-minute song, you know, and talking about, you know, what we talked about in our conversations in our lyrics, which David, you know, graced them all basically, and it was just, you know, that was really, it was great, you know, for our generation. We were speaking to them maybe, or they heard it, it spoke to them, you know. And we kind of dared you to have sex with a monster in our song Frankenstein,
well,
you know.
besides that,
Besides that, though.
when we started playing, we played it where people danced, you know. There was always like a dance floor.
We were swinging.
The whole
you know,
thing was
like,
like
it's a
making
swing.
so people could dance, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. Hey, how are you, everybody? Yeah. We want to make records that with people who, without even having to talk about it, want to make records of what the band sounds like. You know what I mean? It's not that they're not capable of making other kinds of records, you know, with lots of overdubs and stuff. But they, you know, for a band like us, it's much better if it's essential, you know. So.
And you know, of course, if you have a lot of money and you could stand in the studio for 3 years to produce your River record, you know,
I could've
then
stayed-
you could work on each note, like, you know, all
I could
day.
have done that in Hawaii, though.
Yeah,
for
without-
another 2 months.
Yeah, because
I
it's so
mean,
beautiful.